Hello everyone, welcome to the Raw Take. I'm your host Rob Reed. This is your review for the August 10th, 2021 edition of NXT. This show was so damn good up until the very, very end. They dropped the ball hard at the end. We'll get into it. The show starts off. We're supposed to have a match between Saray and Ember Moon, but Ember Moon is not medically cleared, so they have someone else to take the spot of Ember Moon. That person is Dakota Kai, who is the number one contender to the NXT Women's Championship. This match was fantastic. So good. Like insane. I can't even tell you exactly how to explain some of the moves they do. Saray's drop kick looks absolutely vicious. The end, Saray is getting ready to go for her finish, but she runs to the rope to get ready to do her run, but just as she's running, Dakota Kai runs around the other way and hits her. I don't know what she calls it. It's basically a haluva kick. Kalo kick. That's what she calls it. The Kalo kick kicks her. 1, 2, 3. Really damn good finish. She looks like she's about to do it again, but Raquel's music hits. Raquel runs off. Raquel gets on the mic. So she's gonna tear Dakota apart at TakeOver. Good, simple, easy. And what I like is Dakota Kai won her match. Yes, Saray is trying to build up her career, but I think at this point she's allowed to take a loss here. This is the number one contender. She should be getting her win right before. The number one contender for a title should be getting a win. This will come back later tonight. So, this brings out Pete Dunne next. Pete Dunne comes out next. Or no, sorry. Ilya Dragunov comes out. This is his first night on US NXT. He's going to be facing Walter for the NXT UK title at TakeOver. Pete Dunne comes out and he said, "You should be thanking me, because if it wasn't for me, nobody would know who NXT UK are." And challenges Dragunov to a match. Pete Dunne versus Ilya Dragunov. That should be a fantastic match. Awesome. Let's get this show going even better. Come on. So next, throughout the show, I'll lump all these together. Throughout the show, Indy Hartwell and Dexter Lumis are going to be going on their first date. And the first little video is Indy is getting ready for the date. It shows Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae are sitting in another room. It was like, he lost the match. He shouldn't be. They shouldn't even be dating. which I agree with. I don't even understand why he lost the match to begin with. Why Dexter Lumis lost the match to begin with. He should have won, especially if they were going to go this route. But he was like, he lost the match. They shouldn't even be dating. Candace was like, why are we even letting them? And he was like, hey, do you want another Austin Theory to happen? He's out somewhere lost in the wilderness, half naked, which is very funny. So the doorbell rings. Gargano goes to the door, and Dexter Lumis is standing there with black roses, not legit black roses. They're red roses that have been spray painted black. And Gargano brings him in. They sit on a couch, and he's like, I want to know what your intentions are with Indy. And he's talking to him like dad would to a boy taking his daughter to the prom, and it's hilarious. So we get these throughout the show, and Candace is helping Indy get ready, and Candace says, "You think you'll need some protection?" And Indy goes, "I am a former NXT Women's Tag Team Champion. I don't need protection." And funny enough, later I saw a tweet from Shawn Michaels goes, "I don't think that's what she's talking about." This whole thing I thought was really funny. This stuff partnered with like the golf course stuff from Cameron Grimes reminds me of like classic WWF superstars with Bobby Heenan and Mean Gene Okerlund, like those kind of skits. That's what this kind of thing has been reminding me of, and these have been very funny. So the next thing, they're on their date, and all of a sudden you see Candace is like walking around. She's dressed up. Supposedly, I forget what she's dressed up as, but it's obvious it's her. And you hear Johnny Gargano, and she's on has like a walkie-talkie, and you hear Gargano on the other end, and it's like, oh, I actually forget the line, but immediately Indy catches on. She's like, "Johnny, I'm on a date right now. I don't need you looking in on me." And Candace is like, "We've been caught. Abort mission. And then even later, they're Indy and Dexter. They're done with their supper, and now it's time for dessert. And you see this waiter bring a cake, and of course the waiter is Johnny Gargano, and he has a really, really bad hair, really bad wig and mustache, which is funny since he already has facial hair, but he has this funny looking mustache, and of course again Indy sees right through it, and her and Johnny fight over the cake, and then of course it ends up in Dexter's face. So I thought overall these were really funny skits. I was completely there for it. I thought they were funny. So next we have LA Knight basically just has a squash match. Uh, but right after the match, Ted DiBiase comes down. And he says he demands the Grimes should fight for what he what he deserves. He said I think I think you're worth so much more. He said I think you are championship material, and I think if you fought Knight one more time, you would be the $1 million champion. And so he proposes a match, and actually, LA Knight goes one further. He says, he's been my butler. He said, I'll do you one better. I'll go ahead and accept this challenge. He said, if Cameron Grimes loses to me, Cameron Grimes won't be my butler. Teddy DiBiase will be my butler. So at TakeOver, Cameron Grimes and LA Knight will fight for the $1 million championship. But if Cameron Grimes loses, Ted DiBiase becomes LA Knight's butler. This has been probably my favorite storyline on all of NXT. Almost all of WWE at this point. Cameron Grimes was so seamless from going from being a heel to being a babyface, and it's like the opposite of Baron Corbin, where Baron Corbin, the whole thing is very, very much comes off as just making fun of poor people, and not, there's people who are actually struggling. And, this one is a lot less of that. And Cameron Grimes comes off as very likable, which is funny because I've always seen Cameron Grimes as a heel, and he's like a absolute 100% babyface now, and I love it. So next, we have Gigi Dolan has a match. Before the match, there's a little vignette shows she said she's fighting more than just her competitors. She's cutting heads off of roses. The match, it's a quick squash, but Gigi Dolan looks like an absolute star, and she gets she has a finisher that looks really damn cool. It starts out like a abdominal stretch, and then she like flips them into like a driver. It looks really cool. So that's her finish, and really good. So now we have a face-to-face. William Regal brings out before that, actually, there's a backstage segment with Tommaso Ciampa. They're sitting in their chairs, and Tommaso Ciampa brings up Ridge Holland. Ridge Holland. They've been fighting with Pete Dunne and Oni Lorcan, and they needed to bring in a third guy to beat him up. And Ciampa says the line. He says, Ridge Holland has two really good things for him. He's young and he's big. And I was like, I heard that. That is very much because that's apparently the new edict going forward with NXT. When they hire talent, they're only looking for. Apparently, this was actually a line used by a real person in WWE management. No more midgets and no more guys over 30. I didn't know you'd actually hear that line past 2000, the year 2000. Apparently Kevin Nash got in Vince's ear. But at first he's going to challenge Ridge, but then Timothy Thatcher makes the challenge instead. He wants a match. So I don't think that's going to be on TakeOver. I think it's going to be either next week's NXT or the week after TakeOver. And it looks like they're getting ready to really push Ridge Holland. He's probably going to beat both guys because he's big and he's a young guy. Though I actually do think Ridge Holland looks pretty good. I don't have a problem with Ridge Holland. You got to start pushing some guys eventually. So I'm fine with that. We see so now William Regal comes out and he makes two big announcements. He says Kushida will face Roderick Strong for the next week. Kushida will face Roderick Strong for the Cruiserweight title, and MSK will defend the tag team titles against Imperium. Those will both happen next week on NXT. So now he says he brings out Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly. He said this will be the undisputed finale. It will be a 2 out of 3 falls match where the first 2 falls, each competitor gets to pick a stipulation, and if it goes to a third fall, William Regal will make that the third stipulation. So they come out, both really good promos. Kyle O'Reilly picks just a straight up wrestling match. He said, because it really sticks in my craw that you beat me in a wrestling match. He said, so I want to run that back. Adam Cole picks a street fight, and he says, O'Reilly says, he said, I sat back and said, I've watched you be this ruthless guy and you do anything you can to win. And he said, I did, but I learned from that. I learned from you how to be that and how to not be that. Adam Cole says, of course you learned from me. He said, you've been following me for 13 years. He said, you've been riding my coattails all 13 years. So they get ready to fight each other, and William Regal says, I'm done trying to handle this peacefully because you guys always can't seem to control you guys. The third fall will be inside a steel cage. So it's a three stages of hell. Regular match, street fight, cage match. Because it's going to go to the third fall. It always does. Unless you're Triple H. So this show has been fantastic all the way through, right? Now we're going to get to the main event of the show. Oh, no, sorry. We have one more match. It's also really good. It's a tournament match. The NXT Breakout Tournament. It's Odyssey Jones and Trey Baszler. Another really good match. Odyssey Jones picks up the win. He looks freaking awesome. He's this young, big dude. Has an awesome looking side slam finish. Looks really good. He's going to be really good in the finals. So now, oh, sorry, we have a squash match from one of the guys from the Boa from Tian Shaw. He has a squash match against Drake Maverick. Nothing really to write about there. Okay, now we get into the main event. This show has been fantastic, almost all the way through. A couple meh points, but most of all, really damn good show. We get to this match of Pete Dunne and Ilya Dragunov. This match kicks ass. This entire match kicks so much ass. They're slapping and punching the shit out of each other. Guess how it ends? Walter comes down, distracts Ilya Dragunov. Dragunov gets hit with the better end. 1, 2, 3. Guys, you got your main roster mixed in with NXT again. This is so frustrating. This match was so damn good. This match went like 20 minutes. It was really good. Back and forth. But you had to have a distraction finish. And the challenger to the title had to lose. Pete Dunne is on it. His contract is up. He can take a loss. What did they think? Oh, hey, Pete, if you sign, you can beat Ilya Dragunov for the title. No, in a non-title match. Do I get his spot against Walter? No, he's still facing Walter. What was the point? It made no sense. This show was going so damn good. And then at the end, they have completely nonsensical finish. Pete Dunne can take this loss. This is Ilya Dragunov's U.S. debut. This is Karrion Kross on Monday Night Raw all over again. It's that bad, in my view. What reason do I have now to watch Ilya Dragunov versus Walter? Give me a reason. The guy that just lost to Pete Dunne is now going to go to TakeOver and win the title? This company. Last night I likened this to someone hitting what is a surefire inside the park home run. Like the ball is on the foul, goes right through the foul line, goes to the back wall, the left fielder is going to take a while to get to that ball. So this guy is running the bases, rounds third, and all of a sudden he just stops for no reason and watches as the ball flies over his head. as the left fielder relays the ball to home plate, and he gets tagged out at home plate. That's what it feels like. This show was almost perfect. Almost a perfect wrestling show. And they had to ruin it with a distraction finish where the defender to the title coming up lost. Absolutely made no sense. That was your NXT review. I'm Rob Reed. This has been the Raw Take. If you like this video, drop a like, share this video, comment down below, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at MrRobReed, REED. So follow me on Twitter at Mr. Rob Reed, and I'll see you guys in the next video.